Do you think it's strange
that there's a way.
of how you look and how you act and how you think?
Oh my God.
Pretend.
They're not the same as you.
Ba-bow, ba-ba-bow, bow. So, if you know this song, one of two things happened. Either you grew up loving Less Than Jake, or you watched the Digimon movie, which is what we are going to base today's episode on.
Yeah. And lucky for all of you, we're in both.
Yeah.
So, flashback to childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So, things are a little bit different in the U.S. at this one, right? So, just like want to start off to preface this. We got a very different version of what the Digimon movie is now than pretty much everyone else in the world.
Correct. So the Digimon movie that we got released in the United States is actually a combination of 3 different Digimon movies. So we're going to break this down kind of. So Digimon Movie 1, which is the beginning of this movie that we got, is Angela Anaconda.
Yes. Which is arguably the most powerful Digidestin out there.
She has Popcornmon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
No, this is the greatest thing about Fox Kids at the time. We're going to see this movie in the movie theaters.
Yep.
We're sitting down, and all of a sudden, Angela Anaconda comes on the screen. And I don't know of a single person that ever watched this show, like in real life, but it's a story about her and her friends coming into the movie theater. And it's kind of like how Pokemon had like the little Pokemon shorts beforehand. Yeah. They were a lot better than this. But like that is stuck in my brain. And isn't that when they sang Kids in America too?
I was going to say, so this movie has so many core memories associated with it that aren't even Digimon that have shaped me in ways I don't appreciate. So you got the Kids in America music video, which went on for way too long. You had Angela Anaconda. And then this is where the Digirap came in. Because instead of having the opening, they're like the Digidestin, and they go through like the whole thing.
Yeah, because they were trying to make it cool and edgy for
Let
like their
me hear
US
you say,
hey, Digimon, digital. Oh my god.
So yeah,
okay,
it was great. We should probably rewind a little bit and just tell the listeners, viewers, what we're going to be doing.
Are you
today.
saying we should go back to
the beginning? Yes, we should.
So Digimon Movie 1 that was released in Japan, and part 1 of this movie was it was kind of that background story that you never got from Digimon. It was why each person was chosen as a Digidestined.
Yep.
So this one specifically follows Tai and Kari when they find a little Koromon egg and they hatch it, and then they're trying to like, I don't know, they're playing with their fun little pink blob, and then all of a sudden they have a dinosaur in their bunk bed, and that dinosaur is of course our lovable little Agumon, who not the same Agumon. I will preface that is not the same Agumon that Tai has 15 years or 10 years later when he gets sucked up from camp. This is a brand new Agumon that we've never met before.
I still vividly remember just the scene of Tai, like they gave him cat food, everything like that, and they just picked him up, was like, you pooped. Yeah. And it was just like, oh, it was great. Like that movie was, you got Kari in like the little onesie, you got Tai like trying to be the big brother, and it's just, it's incredible.
Dude, you know what else was incredible about this movie too? Do you remember like the sweet one-liners they had? Where, like for instance, remember when like they're at the vending machine and he Agumon is just like walking through the street or something like that, and the car goes like running by, and you just hear the 2 guys in the car talking. It's like, whoa, did you see that thing? It's like, no, sorry, I was sleeping. It's like, sleeping? You were driving. Dude, that movie was chock full of just like quick little one-liners like that, which is amazing. Yeah. And apparently it's because like they kind of had creative freedom when they got the script for this movie. Yeah. And they were just like, there's a lot of stuff where we have free time when we translate it to English, we have a lot of free time because the Japanese dub is just longer in itself. So we're like, we need to fill in some, blank space. So they hired this one guy, and I can't remember his name, but his job was literally fill the blank space. So that's why he's in charge of like all these one-liners and stuff that you see in these movies.
Yeah. But just like kicking off with like everything. So the first part, phenomenal. So not a lot goes on, so we can kind of like breeze through it. So you already touched on it. We got the Digidestined children in there. So lead off, we got Kari and Tai. They get their first Digimon. They're raising it like a child. And then we get our first introduction of like, what are we in for? So it was Parrotmon that ended up coming in, and they have like that big Godzilla match. And chills with like all of that. Like that battle was incredible. I think that was probably one of the first like animes where you're like, "Oh, this is a budget." Like in retrospect, like watching it as an adult, it holds up more than most of the animes that are coming out right now.
Dude, speaking of the animation, I gotta ask, because when I first watched the movie, I remember seeing how it was animated and thinking, this kind of looks bad, because I was used to like the thick black outlines on a character and stuff, and Digimon did this weird thing where they were using red outlines instead. And in this movie, you know, since it was like a movie, like a lot of the backgrounds were painted and everything like that, as opposed to like a rough sketch that was in the anime. But looking back on it now, like that was such a crisp and beautiful art style.
Yeah. Like being an adult and like learning that, okay, maybe the animators have a life and we probably shouldn't be making them like kill themselves over this. But like in this, you can see there. So it's called like animating on like ones, twos, like how many frames, you know, per animation, thing like that. So in all of this, like the reason I think as kids we thought it looked kind of weird is because it was actually drawn where like every frame was a different picture. So it was like more crisp as it like transitioned with everything. Like these fights between Parrotmon and Greymon, like it's incredible. You see like all the feathers flying off, and then God, the scene where Greymon's like on the ground and he opens his eyes from like Kari's whistle.
My God, yes. You get like the whole lizard effect where it's the double eyelid. So he like opens it and then you see him open sideways too.
Yep.
Bro, they animated Ty's snot. Like when he was blowing the whistle. And because like Kari comes out and she's trying to do it, and or Ty just gets it and he's just like, I almost called him Ash.
I mean,
and he's just like blowing and he just has like that snot like bubble coming out. And then that's when Greymon wakes up and he's like, I got this. You know, that deep, like,
I hear you.
Right.
And then can we talk about the soundtrack?
So we led this off with Less Than Jake. All My Friends Are Metalheads.
Yeah.
Part 2 of the movie, which is 10 years later, post, what do they call them? Like the big four Piedmon's crew. What were they called?
Oh my God.
Post season 1 of Digimon Adventures. So
it's
after
like
they
the
beat
Masters
Piedmon,
or something like that?
the Dark Masters.
Dark Masters.
Dark
yes,
Masters.
Okay.
So this is where part 2 takes place, and it opens up with Mighty Mighty Ballstones, the impression that I get. This, when I say this movie has one of the top 3 soundtracks of my life, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are Forrest Gump and Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Like, as far as I'm concerned, those are the best soundtracks ever created for any movie anywhere. And fight me. I dare you.
So to everyone here, if you care about this show on Spotify, there is a playlist with this album. Go listen to it. It will change your life. Make your kids listen to it. Do whatever you need to. But like, if you need a good drive soundtrack and you're going on a road trip, put this on and your life will be better.
Easily.
Like 100%.
Yeah. So Digimon Movie 2. Yes. So as we said in the beginning, this is the second Digimon movie that came out in Japan, but it's just part 2 of the American movie. So the American movie took the first 3 movies, shoved them together, and that's why it's so pieced out, because they needed to hit that hour-and-a-half mark. So part 2 is against Diaboromon.
Yes.
Yes, that's his name.
Yes.
And I don't know how they got away with this, but was it America nuking Japan again in this? Did Diaboromon hack?
America wasn't doing anything. So the whole like Diaboromon came about as, I believe it was, and we'll get into this, Willis was trying to create a Digimon.
Correct.
Because he wanted Digimon partners, which he ended up getting 2, which isn't fair, but we'll get to that later. So he ends up creating a Digi-Egg online that just gets corrupted by the internet. He doesn't know what he's doing. So, you know, it digivolves. And then as it gets there, it starts like hacking into the mainframes. And later on in the movie, it actually ends up getting into like the nuclear database, and it starts just launching these missiles. So I don't think it was America trying to stop anything. I think it was just, this has a vendetta on like the entire world. Why not? Let's just nuke everything.
Oh my
But
God.
we did get a little bit too far. So like back to like the one-liners in this. I think this was so great because the movie did a really good job of like including everybody, but not everybody. So like part 2, you're pretty much just getting Izzy and Ty. for like the entire thing. And they even make jokes. They're like, oh, why can't we reach everyone? Mimi's having her best life. Sora's mad at Tai because she threw up in his hat.
Joe is taking a test, so he can't even like do anything.
What do we
and
got?
then Matt and Ty are stuck at their grandma's place, and they're like running around town because they're like, "There's only one computer in this town, and we need to find it."
I remember when what is it? Is it TK like massaging the old lady's back? She's like, "Ooh, that feels good."
Yeah, he's just like karate chopping her shoulders. No, the best people though that stole movie 2 were Ty's mom, who's baking the cookies. What was it? She's like, "Does anyone want 3 apple cookies or something like that?" And he's like, "Mom, not right now." It's like, all right, well, that's fine. I only got 1 apple anyway. I don't remember what the thing was.
I don't have any eggs.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then the cat, when Ty and Izzy were like eating something, and the cat's just in there, and it's like, "Welcome back to meow.com." And he's like, "Get out of here, Coco." And the cat's just like, "Ah," and like runs off.
God, it's so. Doesn't like Izzy eat all of the mom's cooking? It's like, "Oh yeah, Miss Camille, I'll eat all your cooking." And then he just like gets sick. It's like, "Izzy, what's wrong?" It's like,
I don't feel good.
It's your mom's cooking.
Izzy, right now? You need to do this right now? Oh my god. But then like chills again though.
Yeah.
Because you get Ty and you get Matt that finally do go in there, and this is the introduction of Omnimon, who we don't right here.
For all of you Japanese listeners, Omegamon.
Yes.
Yes.
I wonder if we do have any. Anyway,
No.
but like just the scene where they just get blown to smithereens by like the 10,000 Diabolomon or Diaboromon, whatever his final form is called. And they're just like floating there, and Ash and Matt are like, they're like, "Come on, like wake up. It's a throwback to the whistle scene." Yeah. And I think Ty even says like, "I wish I had my whistle right now," or something like that. And then you just see them glowing and like transforming. And then Omnimon is just the greatest fucking boss that pops out of this. It's
And like the speech too is like, "We're trying to slow down these messages, but they're just coming too fast." And then you just see like Izzy go into hacker man status. He's like, "Wait, let's power up our Digimon with the power of instant messenger. That's gonna work, right?"
Like he's just like, "I'm gonna fix this. And then it's like the huge like forward.
Yep.
And it's like, oh snap, spam mail for the win.
Yep. And then I'm lying. I do want to keep talking about the soundtrack, but like, oh my god, like that whole like. You have the countdown in the background because the nuke is about to hit Japan. You've got all the Diaboromon like swarming, and Omnimon is like firing his Garurumon rocket launcher, like blowing out all of these. And it's just like,
let's kick it off.
Whoa. It's just like incredible. And you're just sitting there like, oh my God, are they going to do it? And it's just great.
Oh my God. And then you have he kills all of them except for one somehow with the wolf fang blaster thing.
You pulled that out. That name.
I don't think that's correct.
Yamcha
has wolf fang fist, but then somehow like just the one that they have to kill is left alive, and they're like, "Oh, we can't hit it with the gun. Better get out this dope ass sword." And it's like you just see it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, as they're like flying
through
the forehead.
And you just got that timer in the middle. No, it was in the middle of Diaboromon's chest. And it's just like going back between the 1 second.
Yeah, the
oh my God.
The clock. And then probably the most beautifully animated part of the second part is when the rocket hits the water, doesn't explode, but it causes like that plume of water.
Yeah.
And then everyone's just standing there as like the rain just comes down and the rocket's just like, and it's like, that is gorgeous.
Yeah. And then you got like, you got Sora at the end, like reading the note from Ty, like, "Hey, I'm sorry I threw open your helmet, but like, what's a few like raindrops between friends or something like that?"
Yes.
And it's just like, stupid Ty. Oh,
God. You would think though, like
we're watching this after we record this.
Her looking out the window and like the news and all that stuff. Everyone's like, "There's a missile heading towards Japan. Like we should do something." And she's just like, "Oh, fucking Ty. Like threw up in my helmet, didn't apologize, nothing. Never like in her wildest dreams did she think like this might be a Digimon attack. Maybe I should reach out to them and like put this behind me." But
I do want to like, and I know we're kind of like jumping back and forth with this, but one thing I do want to think about is like, it was always really cool to me how like Digimon was set in the present. Like you couldn't see a lot of technology, but it always felt like whatever season of Digimon you were watching, like it was where you grew up in. And I liked this movie a lot because they were like using like house phones, and they had like the different like phone tag stuff. Like remember when they were trying to get in touch with all the Digidestin, they're like, the phones are down because Diaborimon's crashing the internet. We have to leave like voicemails for them to call us back. And it was so cool.
Yes, you had
like,
to call and leave
happen.
a voicemail, and then they had to listen to the voicemail and then respond. It was like walkie-talkie kind of like things. Oh, and that brings us to another one-liner. Matt finally finds the computer in like the deli or something like that, and they're the old guys in the background. He's like, "Wow, kids are so smart nowadays. Like I can't even work my VCR," and they're just like, thanks. And then Matt gets sucked in, and the guy in the background, he's like, "Wait, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where's your brother?" Just freaking out. Oh my god! All right, so
movie
skipping
3.
ahead now.
Yes.
So we're like another 5 years in. Digimon Adventure 2 is now the thing, and TK is grown up, kind of taking over like the new
angst. Yeah.
And we got Davis, we got Julie, we got Tiny Bullcut Man,
Little monk boy, Cody.
And this is where we kind of tie the 3 movies together because now Willis is here. So Willis, as we said, he created that Diabolomon.
Yeah.
Because he was gifted twin Digimon.
Yes.
I don't remember their names, but one is Terriermon and one's Dark Terriermon.
It's not Gargamon. Gargamon's like the latest one.
He's the evolution.
Kokomon?
Kokomon.
Yeah, Terriermon and Kokomon.
Terriermon.
Oh my god. Which I feel really bad we're doing this without you know who.
Yeah.
Yeah, not our mutual friend, but like we have a friend who would quite literally die and sacrifice everything he could to have like an actual like Kokomon or Terriermon.
Right. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Joe.
Joe.
If he could have
we have a name for him now.
A Terriermon in real life, I think he would die
Momentai.
completely. Momentai. Oh my god. So we have
back to the movie.
So we have Willis, who the American Digidestin. This is the first time we get like an American Digidestin, except for Mimi, who moved to America to become like a model or a movie star or something like that. And TK and Kari are out on like vacation, traveling the world.
Yep.
And they're in America at the same time, and they just happen to bump into Willis. Weird coincidence there. And I don't even know. Like,
yeah, like this whole thing. So he's currently going to try to find Kokomon because he became corrupted again. I think, if I remember correctly, I'm probably getting called out. This was the same thing that corrupted the original, like Diaboromon. It was like the same like butterfly effect nonsense. So him and Terriermon were on a cross country trip because, like, he keeps coming and saying like you have to go back. You have to go back to the beginning. So he's like, what is the beginning? Is it where I first created you? Is it where we first met? Like, what is the whole thing? And it's just like the whole movie is just, this Digimon like essentially like dying, like the entire time, just like lashing out because he's getting corrupted like further and further and further.
Oh my god! But then we get the greatest scenes ever, and it's Magnamon and Golden Gargamon. I don't remember his real name, but like, so we have
it was Rapidmon. Yes.
So we get that sweet throwback to the anime when like the first time we saw War Garurumon and Metal Greymon. No.
War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. Yes.
So when they're fighting the Vampire Lord man and TK and Kari have to shoot like their arrows of light through Tai and Matt to get their mega forms, we see this repeat in this movie. So we have it's not even Angemon, it's whatever his final form is, Imperial Magnamon or something.
Seraphimon is
the Patamon's final.
No, that's not Patamon. It's Gatomon.
The pink dog?
Seraphimon is Gatomon's. Because she's Angelwoman.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he becomes
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Seraphin.
Yeah.
And then I can picture him in my head. It's like full on plate armor with like 6 wings. I'm just going to call him Super Dupermon. But they mega evolve, and this is the first time you see their mega evolutions like ever.
Yep.
And then they disappear and they become the golden Digi Eggs, which if you followed like Digimon Adventure 2, you know that's all it is. It's just like the Digimon grabbing eggs and like transforming into different armored Pokemon Digimon. Whoops. But yeah, and then you get like Magnamon and you get Golden Bunnymon, and they just like rampage on this giant clown bunny thing. And Oh my god, take over, because I'm just like,
Well, I mean, I feel like
I'm
this
gushing.
is where we're at, and my hope with this is that we kind of just like bring back a core memory for everyone's like, oh my god, this movie was incredible. But like, it's what you said, and it was like, to me, this was our first introduction to the new Digidestin, right? Because at the time in America, and I could be wrong, like I don't think not season two.
No, we already had Adventure.
Did we have Davis?
Yeah.
We did.
Yes.
Okay.
I think at this point though we hadn't gone through like the Black War Greymon. I think we just finished the Emperor
the
saga, the Ken saga.
Yeah.
I don't think we got Digimon Adventure 2 season 2 yet, because that ran for like 3 seasons, I think. Because we had the Ken, then we had the Black War Greymon, and then we had the Real World, where we started getting like the third level Pedramon or whatever it's called, Imperialmon, and all that. I don't remember the villain in that.
The third season?
Yeah, when all I remember is
Wasn't that when they like had to come back to like the real world?
they came back to the real world, and the only scene that pops out in my head is them like battling in a street somewhere, and that's when they fused into Pedramon, and then they turned into like the doggy tank mode, which I think is like the next mode or something.
Oh, Paildramon, yeah.
Pedramon.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like, reminiscing about this makes me just want to like do more episodes about Digimon, because I think like the fusion digivolving was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like, Wormmon
Dude,
is like my favorite. I think Ken is amazing, but Davis is the best Digidestin, and I'll die on this hill.
what was Wormmom's evolution? I know what it looks like. Was it Waspmon? Or?
It was Wormmon, then Waspmon, and then Waspmon fused with XVmon to create
Paildramon.
No, they had the other fusion in between. So they fused to make that half blue, half green, like Waspmon looking guy, and that could actually be what it is. And then that digivolved into Paildramon. 99% sure.
Okay.
But
because I thought it was just like Paildramon, and then it was Imperial Paildramon, and then
I mean, these lines are so like convoluted. Like you also have like that poop Digimon. I'm pretty sure can like digivolve into like one of the Dark Masters. I have no idea. It could go either way.
Oh yeah.
But okay, so we got here. So it's Wormmon, then Stingmon, then Paildramon with the DNA. Okay, so yes, you are right, 100%.
Okay.
So XVmon, Stingmon made Paildramon, and then it's in Paildramon, and then it's the battle form.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I was right.
But I thought that was really cool. Like, I think going from season 1, you know, it was in the movie. It was really nice because like you had the normal like Digidestin from season 1. They're like, oh, I've just got my crests, and then you have like the new hotness coming in. They're like, well, we got eggs, we got friendship, we have fusion, we've got golden digi eggs and all that stuff.
Right.
And it was just like, it felt like I was watching Power Rangers with Digimon.
Dude, like episode 1, they literally like Tai is there trying to save the world, and they just walk in. They're like, get out of here, old man.
We got you.
Like you can't even digivolve anymore. Like, why couldn't they digivolve? Did they lose their crest or something? Because I remember Agumon could not digivolve in Digimon Adventure 2. And because it started off with Tai like running around the digital world with Agumon trying to like stop the Emperor, and he couldn't do anything.
Wasn't it like age or something? Like they were growing up, so like they were losing their connection. I know that
came into play in Kazuma.
Yeah,
Last Evolution Kazuma or whatever it's called. Which, if you want to cry, go watch that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No spoilers, but like, a case of tissues might not be enough. I'm going to be completely honest.
No, the basis of that movie revolves around the fact that when a Digidestin grows up, they lose their Digimon partner. So like the main antagonist is a person trying to get their Digimon back. But I'm sure if you can read between the lines, you kind of know where this is going.
Yep, it's a happy ending. Exactly what we wanted.
Exactly
what we wanted.
But the exciting part about that is that can just like kind of lead us into the new movie coming out, which is it's the continuation of Last Evolution Kazuma or whatever it's called, but it's based on Digimon Adventure 2, which I think it's a continuation of that and a continuation of Digimon Tri, because in Digimon Tri, for some reason, all of the Adventure 2 Digidestins were trapped in like a lab, and they got released. It was like a weird like after credits, short or something like that. And then they didn't touch on that at all in Last Evolution. But then now they're coming out with the Digimon Adventure 2 movie, which I'm super
Very
fucking
excited.
hyped about.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it. I don't know like what it's supposed to be. I hope Ken's in it. I really hope Ken's in it.
Yeah.
And I would be hella hyped if Black War Greymon came back, because
like
I loved him more.
Like there's Alphamon, which is like fine, and then
Yeah.
there's like Black or Greymon. My hand is only here because I can't stand up right now. But it's But we'll have to get into it more. I think we should do definitely a Digimon Try episode. And this episode, like, we really just wanted to take the time to
just appreciate
geek out about
the
this.
movie.
Yeah,
the movie and the soundtrack.
We could tell you the plot. You probably already know the plot, but like, I think everyone in our group has had an impact on this. So we can kind of just wrap this up, and we can go through the end, and then like anything else about that. But we already got through it. We had the golden digi eggs. We had everything with the battle. And then, like, the end, I don't know if you, like, cried as much as I did as a kid, but, like, after everything, and they're like, Digimon don't die. They just come back singing a different tune. And what song plays at the end? Is it All-Star?
I don't know. I just remember Kokomon gets reborn, and he's just, like, out there dancing. He's like, he's tone deaf.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's, like,
brings you back.
The last one-liner that they get to drop in that movie. Oh, my God.
But I know, like, it was so great. And like that movie just did such a great job of like world building, character building. Because like you could watch all of these cartoons as a kid, you're just like, oh, it's the episode of the week. They're gonna fight this monster. But like this is like, oh no, they showed Matt. He's going to music school to become like an artist. You've got Joe, who's like an adult doing all this stuff. You've got Mimi, who's a model now, and it's just like.
You got Izzy, who's running a tech company, and Ty, who is just playing soccer for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never really achieved much in life.
Yeah, he didn't. He becomes a coach, and then he works. There's an episode later on where he's in the city working with his dad. No, not his dad.
It was Matt that became the astronaut, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Rock star astronaut, and then Matt got married to Sora.
I'm just happy for him.
Yeah, they all lived, but
with that,
go watch the movie.
Yeah.
Listen to the soundtrack.
Absolutely.
Listen to the soundtrack, then watch the movie, then listen to the soundtrack again, and you'll just get multiple chills. And
then go watch Final Evolution, Final whatever.
Last Evolution, Cosmo.
Yeah, bring your tissues.
Yes.
But that's it for this week. Talk to you guys later.
If you enjoyed that episode, make sure to join us here every Thursday on YouTube and Spotify as we drop new episodes of that good shit.
And don't forget to give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok for some solid filler content to get you through the week at Not Mike, Not Pat. You should be watching.